welcome to the Away Day review show on Back of the Net. We're an AFC Bournemouth fan channel, and these videos are all about reviewing the away day. Clue is in the title. This week, Tom, we're doing a team that were unlucky not to win the league. Who is it? It's Arsenal.
It's the Gooners.
And Arsenal fans have been very good to us on this channel. They gave us our highest rated YouTube video ever for a channel like us. 165,000 or whatever it was absolutely superb. So we got to be nice to them. No, actually, we've got to be just really honest about the experience, because in this video series, we talk about everything barring the football match itself, which is important because we need to be neutral, don't we, eh?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And it's, context around stuff. You can't, away days are always better if you get more points. But this is about everything other than what happened on the pitch, which when we go to the Emirates, that's normally better for us. But yeah, we talk about everything away from it. So your car parking, your travel while you get up there, your pre-match away pub if you go to one, the walk to the ground from there.
Okay.
We did between a wow factor this season, which is a fan that's never been to that stadium before, and if they get that kind of wow feeling when they see it. View from your seat.
Yeah.
Once you're in there from the away end, we do a pint rating from the ground, the noise from the home fans, and then value for money at the end.
And what do we do with that? So for each of those categories, we put them on a tier list, and here it is, unfilled right now, and it goes from 0 to 10, Tom.
It does. It goes from just can't score this, obviously 0, to just rubbish, not the best, above average, happy enough, and thing of beauty. So pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, whack all the different categories in there, add them all up, whack them in a league table, and can also have to do well if they do better than the other league table. But yeah, there's still a few spots up for grabs, mate. Them and Chelsea, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. 2 away days left to cover. And where will they end up on this table? Stay tuned, because all will be revealed. By the way, if you're brand new here, you can do us a couple of favours.
Yeah, click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Click the like one as well, because I always see, we do all right with views and stuff, but the likes, I think everyone finds it.
Yeah,
click the like button while you're there.
No one sees your likes. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, don't worry. Just click a like. And then, if you click the bell as well, you'll see when all the videos are out.
Right, on to car parking then. Car parking. Now, London games are always a bit of a nightmare. Sometimes it's good to go and get the train like we did for Chelsea. Yeah. We'll give you that experience in a future video. But for this one, I went on Train Pal or Train Line. I look at the prices, a bit too spenny. So we thought, you know what, let's drive in. One thing we forgot was that the congestion charge actually runs on a Saturday now as well, because I always thought it was Monday, Friday. So 15 quid if you're driving between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. Therefore, likeliness is, as this is a 12:30 kickoff at the Emirates, we're probably going to have to pay when we get out of London. But then we thought to ourselves, okay, so we could park on the outskirts and then tube it in, but between everyone, we would have paid more in tube fees. So we thought, you know what, that's fine. What we'll do is we'll drive to near Euston Station. We got a car parking space on your car parking space app or whatever it is. I think it was about 7 quid.
Yeah,
and then it's a short walk around Euston Station, about 15 minutes to find a pub, which we'll go on to. But in terms of getting in, it wasn't too bad, was it? It always looks as though it's a relatively short journey and you've travelled a good distance, and then all of a sudden you're in London, and then it gets slow. Yeah,
and as you say, mate, it's a bit of context around it as the game got moved to an early kickoff, which affects lots of things, particularly car parking, particularly the next category with the pub. So yeah, that made us change plans that we maybe would have done if it was the kind of normal kickoff. But for London, yeah, I think we done all right, didn't we? Done as best as we could, I think. Yeah. It's still, unfortunately, never going to do brilliant because London is a nightmare for us. And you said, you have to pay to get out there. I'd pay a lot to get out of London. But yeah, it wasn't horrific. I'll go not the best for London. But that's probably good for London. A lot. We done as best we could, I felt.
Yeah, absolutely. So then the pre-match pub. Now, usually if you're going to go to London, well, North London, Arsenal, you'll be going to maybe a couple of pubs. Forward and fullback, of course, which I absolutely love. That is a hidden gem. I love the outdoor beer garden. It's absolutely superb there.
Remember when the game got changed, all I thought was, we're not going to go forward and fullback. I do like it. So sorry, Arsenal fans, because I think that would have done a lot higher. It's one of my favourite away pubs. I don't know what it is about it. It's nice.
Yeah, I do love it. And it's just the simplicity of the pub. Now, we did send them a message on Instagram and they said, we're open at 11. We thought, only an hour to do our pre-match socials with the crew. It's a good walking distance past Wigworld. All right, Morgan, there you go. I've got the joke in for you. Always goes on
Keeping my hat
about.
on.
I guarantee I'll get a Wigworld text from Morgan Scott today. However, this time, we went to the Captain Flinders, which was a Wetherspoons near Euston Station, and that meant it obviously opened early. We had a bit of a brunch there. I got myself an equivalent of a McMuffin from Spoon, so that was pretty good. And then from there, it's just a tube to like 1 or 2 stops away, and then you're there. And it was all right in there, actually. It wasn't too busy.
Yeah, I think beforehand, like I say, when a kick-off got moved, I would have taken the kind of experience we had before the game and stuff. It was all right. So, yeah, I didn't mind it. It's a difficult one though, because it's not the ideal, and that's, I don't know where to go in there. I might need a little bit of help, because do we go, well, it was good for the fact it was an early kickoff, or do we go, well, the early kickoffs killed it? I don't know.
I think we got to go based on what you're given. So
not the best.
Really,
it's just.
I want to go above average.
All right, no, I was close, so I'm happy with that, mate.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. It was all right. I think in my head I'm going, but it's not the Fulham fullback.
We're trying to keep him on side, Tom, remember?
Yeah, that's true, actually. Arsenal cheers, yeah.
Let's talk about the walk to the ground. Now, usually when we are coming from the other direction, Fulton fullback, we're going past Finsbury Park Station, and I love that walk into the ground. This was a different one, slightly longer, I'd have to say, never as long as the walk between Seven Sisters and the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which feels like the longest walk in the world, but it was quite a walk. But
to go to a soulless, shadow-dwelling, trophy-dodging stadium.
Yeah.
That's gone. Right,
yeah, there you go. By the way, when we were walking to the ground, we had a couple of Arsenal fans who said, oh yeah, I saw your vlog, I subscribed to your channel. Like, what?
Love it.
We're a tiny little, dinky little YouTube channel. How are you flagging us down? Thank you so much for that. So that made the walk to the ground nicer, I've got to say. But it wasn't too bad a walk, was it, really? It took about 15, 20 minutes, and, fortunately it was a nice sunny day as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to compare it to others, obviously, and, to put it into the right category, really, because it's not unbelievable, but it's not bad. Yeah. So I'm just trying to work out if I think it's above average or not. I think it probably is. It was not too far.
Yeah, and there are some tree-lined streets that you can take shortcuts down, which is quite nice. I mean, at the end of the day, when you're in the hustle and bustle of London, it's always going to be busy. But, I thought it was quite a pleasant, and there was a nice vibe as well around the game as well. So, yeah, I would put above average, you saying?
Yeah, I reckon just tips into that one, I would say, mate. Yeah, definitely.
Right then, for our wow factor, we find a fan that's never been to the Emirates before. And for this week's one, it's over to Sam.
The wow factor review for Emirates. So there were 6 of us that visited the Emirates for the first time, so 3 adults and 3 children. So we've done a collective kind of like wow factor for the Emirates for Back of the Net. So I guess the first thing that struck us was that the stadium isn't as in your face as some other stadiums, because it's kind of like embedded in between houses and everything. So you don't get that initial kind of like wow factor. But what we were really impressed with is, as we were walking across the bridges to the Emirates, it's really, really colourful. They really celebrate their history and their legacy and the culture of the club with the paintings and the artworks and the history and the stories that are decorated all the way around the outside of the stadium, and that was really lovely. Also, you've got the statues that are all the way around the outside of the Emirates with a little bit of information about the people, so that was really nice. And we took our time to kind of like walk around the stadium, so that was great. Obviously, inside the stadium, there was a massive wow factor. It's really quite impressive once you're inside, and really loved the fact that the seats are nice and big, which, the stewards are great, and really loved the fact that as away fans you can see the screens. It's really clean, it's really modern on the inside, and kind of takes your breath away when you step in. So from us as a collective, we're going to say it's a 10.
Sam goes for 10. And can I just say, that is one of the best wow factor videos we had sent in by far.
So if we ever tap you up and say you do a wow factor, that's the kind of example we'll probably give.
Sam's the blueprint, and you know what? She's right about.
Doesn't surprise me actually. I always try and think back to when I first went and stuff, and I think I reckon I would have been close to that.
And it's actually quite interesting when you think, like, she's made me think now about the stadiums you go to that celebrate their history on the outside of it, and whichever part of the Emirates you're around, you're seeing some kind of mural or something. But there are other grounds you see where there's literally nothing on the outside.
Yeah, and it feels kind of worn down or whatever. I think what's interesting as well is we met Dan Potts, didn't we, afterwards? Yeah. And if that's what you do, you go, I'm meet by the Burkamp statue. Like, you know what I mean? And I like that. But I'm not surprised. It is gorgeous, to be fair. There's not many that, obviously you all have your own kind of personal preference, like we've said with like Luton, for example, is quirky. But I think in terms of actually thinking, it's probably the one I still do it to.
Yeah.
I'm happy that's gone right at the top, mate.
As for the view, and I'm going to tap into what Sam says actually, you get a padded seat, which is good, lovely and spacious. One thing I would say is the sort of incline where the away fans are, it's not very steep. Yeah, it's kind of a smaller gradient than you get at other grounds, but it doesn't really hinder your view of the pitch. I think it's actually a pretty good view when you look at it. You can also go a bit further around behind the goal as well. And I didn't actually realise we took as many as we did. I'm sure there were a few Arsenal fans sprinkled in with the away fans. Of course there would have been. But you know what? Yeah, I do like the view from the Emirates, and like you say, you've got a good view of the screen and everything like that. It's it's a nice stadium to go to.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm always happy with it. I think with the view, it's always really noticeable if you think it's amazing or awful, and I don't think either of them. But the first thing that comes to my head was, it's above average. Yeah. It's above average view, so it's got to go in that category for me, mate. I'm always pretty happy with it. But as you say, there's a few little bits that don't put it right at the top. But I'm happy to go above average for the view.
Above average for the view. Okay, next is Pie and a Pint. Now, this is where we get our taste buds going, because at every single ground we visit, we sample the best of their alcoholic beverages, or at least analyse what other people say.
So annoying that you make me do it for the show. I have to have a drink.
I know.
It's so annoying. You said to me in my contract that I have to go down on 38, which is really annoying.
I know. And also Pie as well, because it's always important to find out what the food's like. Now, one person did make a comment to us on the vlog on YouTube for the Arsenal game, saying that Adam Hensman walked past with a hot dog and it looked a bit bland. He didn't have any sauce on it. Hensman, what are you doing? Didn't have any onions on it, nothing like that. Looked a little bit bland. It doesn't matter though, because we're not reviewing the hot dogs. I suppose it's food in general, isn't it? But I had a pie. You know what? It wasn't bad at all. I would say if you're going to put the pie alone on the tier list, it's probably above average. But we need to also take into the account the price of it as well. Yeah. The price at Arsenal for a pie last season, it was £4.85. This season, £5.25. So it has gone up slightly. If you're looking for the price of a pint, though,
that's where I come in.
It's one of the more expensive ones in the Premier League, Tom.
Yeah, not a massive shock, but yeah, it got up slightly. It's £6.70, which is not ideal. I think, all good. Like you say, the quality of food and drink is absolutely fine, and would probably put it in above average.
Imagine you've got a family to feed.
But the price of it knocks it down. So I think it's only fair to then go not the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think that's fair? But but that's. You tend to see, if you watch all these videos, that London affects that quite big.
And the beer they had, was it like Camden?
Yeah,
Camden Hells, which I quite like.
I don't mind it as well, because not many have that in their ground. So I kind of think, I'll have it this time. So it's probably the only game I have it, I think.
Yeah.
But because of the price of it, we'd have to put it not the best.
Next, it's the noise from the crowd, and this one is interesting because I've got a feeling my view of it at full time was maybe a bit slanted by the result as well, because I was a bit angry at full time. I gather you might have been as well, Tom. Maybe?
I was all right, mate. I was calm.
Yeah, sure. But now I'm thinking about it, it wasn't overly bad, but one of the actions of one of the players on the pitch maybe indicated that they needed to give some more.
This is one, if you haven't watched before, sorry if you have, because I repeat myself, but this is one where we have to go into a bit of context, because it's not fair to say to a team that have lost 20 games in a row, why are you not that? Do you know what I mean? So we have to go into a bit of context, and I think last season, when we played them, and that's another thing we always compare quite often if we played them the season before, if it was, you go into it with different expectations. Last season, I remember thinking, this is the best I've ever heard the Emirates. During the whole game, they pushed them over the line, but obviously context, they scored in the last minute.
And they came out from 2-0 down.
Came out 2-0 down. So that's understandable.
How they didn't win the Improbable Comeback of the Year award for that season, I do not know.
Probably because they're playing Bournemouth. By the way, Arsenal fans, we won it for beating Tottenham last season. And we've won it again
this season.
Anyway, I digress. So last season, I just thought fair play. People have this like meme going around that Emirates to library. I was like, it is better than most of them. That was last season.
And you know what? Actually, to Arsenal's fans' credit, I don't just think it's us that realise this, because
I think everyone does.
You know the song "Is This the Emirates"?
Yeah.
That's what would be sang. I've not heard it once this season.
No, it's gone.
It's gone because people know that it's a good atmosphere.
Yeah, I think it's
or better.
Yeah, definitely. The problem is, if we were comparing to last year, I'd go it struggled, because last year was so good, and this year I don't know if it was because it was a bit more comfortable for them. They felt like they were always going to win the game, and they didn't need it as much. But I think when we started putting a bit of pressure on them, there was, as you alluded to, I remember seeing Ødegaard, which everyone does, but he was doing that. And I thought he wouldn't have done that last season because he didn't need to.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as good, but equally, there's obviously context to that. I think it's not fair to just compare it on last season where they scored a last-minute goal coming from 2-0 down. I think I always try and compare it to the other teams.
Yeah.
And I do still think it was better than most.
Yeah, I do. And look, I think North London Forever is great.
I love that.
That is really nice. I think what the Ashburton Army are doing on one of the ends, just trying to get the kind of ultra vibe going, I think certainly helps. And I never thought it was quiet, put it that way. And we've been to some quiet stadia this season. We really have. And it wasn't that.
No, it wasn't. It's a difficult one for me because it dipped so far from last season, but compared to the others, it's better than most.
I think I know where this is going to go.
Well, I'm torn between two. What were you?
Are you torn between? Well, okay, above average is in one of your estimations. It depends whether you're toying with the category above that.
Well, I think that
below it.
If you're not sure, I think that means it goes in above average then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was toying between happy enough just because of when I think of all the other ones. If you think of all the other atmospheres that we've done this season, I think it is better than, not just above average, it's probably better than most, but then the dip of last season, I'm going to stick with above average. No, I'm going to stick with it.
Sure?
Yeah.
I'm toying with happy enough. No, above average.
Yeah.
Above average. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go, above average. Right, value for money then. So this is where we put all our expenses together. Now, one of the things we're annoyed by is having to pay the £15 congestion charge fee. It didn't come out of my pocket, it came out of yours, mate. Thanks for sorting that.
Oh, mate, when everyone probably watches this go, Sam drove again today. I never drive. I can drive. Yeah. I never drive to away games. And you said about the congestion charge. I said, bloody hell, I'll
driving,
pay it.
you wouldn't want to trust it.
I said, I'll pay it. So, yeah, it is what it is, mate. It's fine. I in my head, I go, I'll pay 15 quid to get out of the place. So, not Arsenal, just London.
But if it was a 3 o'clock kickoff, we probably wouldn't have needed to pay it because we would have parked before 12 and we'd have exited after 6 o'clock.
True.
So that's a bit of a bum. One thing I would say is that the Wetherspoons was, if you're going to take into account the whole day, food prices were fairly similar to other Wetherspoons around like the nation.
Yeah.
Beer prices,
it's
not
a shame,
so much.
really.
We had to pay a tube, obviously, from Euston to the tube station near the Emirates. In the Emirates, you're paying a fair bit of money for, food that we rated not the best.
But you're arguably going to one of, if not the best grounds in the league.
Agreed, yeah. And you've got a padded seat, so,
If you're spending that sort of money and going to, a stadium that's like ours, for example, then you wouldn't be too impressed. But I think the fact that you're going to one of the best, you go, it's kind of fair. It's whether, because of the London price and stuff, it goes in not the best. Or it pumps up to above average because of how nice the stadium is and how nice it is around it. It's a difficult one, I think.
I think if you go into London, it's always going to be not the best.
Yeah.
But I think
I
it's probably above average.
Yeah, I get that. Because, all right then, so I think what a fair thing to do, as you were kind of getting onto there, is that with London, it's always going to struggle.
Yeah.
So for the other ones in London, is this above them?
Yeah,
yes, it is.
Yes,
so
agreed.
I like that. No, it's good that. We've done that on the spot. I like that. Oh, have they done that? Are you doing maths or do you need to calculate?
There we go. I'm going to work it out as I go. And I think I've got a score. And I'm pretty sure it's level with another side here.
Right.
Okay, so Arsenal.
You don't want me to check it out?
Mate, I think it's 48 points.
Okay.
I mean, 6 times 5 is 30. Plus 10, 40. 48.
Yep.
Pretty sure.
Where's that go?
Where does that put it on the table? It is level with Liverpool, Burnley and Brighton.
It's above Tottenham.
So what this means...
Spursy.
What this means is we've now got to look at those other clubs and then just literally pick for ourselves where it comes above.
I know where... Oh, no, I'm quite comfortable, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's top of them.
Yeah, so do I.
It's miles better.
100%.
As an away day, if you said to me,
100%.
I always try and think of it when teams are joined. I always go, right, so you get a cup game, you get a draw, and you go, right, you've got an away game. Forget about the football.
Yeah.
For an away day experience, you've got to choose between Liverpool, Burnley, Brighton and Arsenal. Where do you want to go? I'm going Arsenal every time. Like, I don't even think that's close, actually.
Yeah.
But I think that's fair, actually. I think I'm quite happy with that score, mate. So yeah, it's on 48, but it's going just above Liverpool like they did in the other league table this season.
There we go. Right, one away day left, and that is Chelsea. How do you compare against Chelsea Arsenal fans? There's a reason to subscribe because that video is coming out very soon. But until then, you can still go up and still go down, by the way, because we'll be recalibrating a few of these once we can compare them all. So look, your hopes for Europe are still not dashed.
There's definitely, they're definitely still not over, mate. There might be some movement with a few Man United, and yeah, we'll see what ones mix up, what ones move up, and what ones move down. Man United.
Other cherries. See you in the next one. Come on.